So Cenat helped that keep going. Cenat put paper in this guy's pocket. He gave him money. He gave him a car. He allowed
he gave him a car? Oh my God, man. So you're telling me this guy gave you all this clout, all this motion. You got a chance to meet all these big streamers because of this connection you had with Cenat, and he got you a car, and this is how you respond, right? Wow. So fucking ungrateful. Whatever you pour your energy into, you get more of. If you've been watching my channel for any significant period of time, you've heard me say this time and time again. You've heard me say things like live from the end. Look that up on YouTube if you want to understand what that really means. But you've also heard me say what you resist persists, meaning whenever you fight against something, you usually get more of it. This is also known as the Streisand effect. And this is why Jesus says to turn the other cheek. This is why he says, do not resist an evildoer. This is why when you're getting robbed, they often tell you, just give up what you have, because if you try to resist, there's a good chance it's going to get a whole lot worse. This is why they say it takes two to tango, why it takes two to fight. When you pour your energy into something, whether it be good or bad, you get more of it. This is also why they tell you to practice gratitude. And why when somebody is appreciative of something you do for them, it makes you want to do it for them again or do it for them more, right? This is a very basic principle that escapes people. People try to negotiate with this metaphysical reality, with this metaphysical law that governs the universe. They want to do it sometimes, but then other times they want to allow their emotions to take over, and they believe that they can bully the universe into submission through anger, right? And demanding things because you believe that this is what you deserve and this is what is just. When in all reality, you should pour your energy only into those things that you want more of. And I say this not as a person who has perfectly executed this, despite understanding it. I say this as a person who understands that every time I have failed to abide by this law, I have suffered, right? And every time that I have trusted that this is the way the universe works, despite how I feel emotionally, despite what seems to be obvious in the external, it has always worked out for me. It's never betrayed me. It's never failed me. It is a law, a metaphysical law, just like the law of gravity. But anyway, we're going to be seeing an example of that play out with this guy right here. NPC Miles Morales deserves his failure. This guy, I don't know if you recognize him, but first he got a little bit of motion on TikTok because he would do this NPC thing where he was pretending to be the Black Spider-Man, you know, from Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. And he did this NPC thing where he was acting like a non-playable character from a video game. Anyway, he caught the attention of Cenat, and Cenat actually invited him on multiple streams. This, of course, led to him growing his clout immensely, which I'm sure led to more opportunities and giving him the chance to make more money. Well, anyway, Cenat, he has come back to the streaming world, and he is doing another round of Streamer University, and various people put in their bid trying to get on to Streamer University too, right? He applied, but he was rejected, apparently, by Cenat, and he crashed out on the internet. And boy, oh boy, are things going poorly for him as a result of that. Let's go ahead and learn more about this situation.
What's poppin', y'all? Cenat got these guys in an absolute chokehold because one of his formerly recurring guests, NPC Miles Morales, Spider-Man, this guy lost his mind when he found out that he wasn't accepted into Streamer University.
Look at that.
Bro, on God, this is why I don't talk to y'all in this community, bro. This is why I don't f this community, bro. This is why I don't f y'all, bro. Y'all can 35,000 watch me, bro, but not tuning into the Twitch, bro. 1,000 watching me, but ain't nobody dropping a sub, ain't nobody showing love, bro.
Wow, look at this. He's complaining. He's saying 35,000 people. So right here, I think he's talking to his own audience, which attacking your own audience, God damn it. Listen, you know, they say the customer is always right. Your audience is always right. You may not always agree with them, but don't fight them, okay? If your audience really fucks with you and you have, like, you know, it's a loving kind of relationship, they support you, you appreciate them, whenever they are pushing back, don't start calling them names. Don't start fucking, you know, disparaging their character. They've been supporting you this whole time. But yeah, he's complaining because he's not getting a bunch of money despite people coming and watching him, right?
That he be in my stream talking about some, why don't you express yourself? Why don't you talk about real shit, bro? Talk about this, talk about that. And when I talk about this, bro, y'all be trolling. Y'all be trolling me, bro, all the time, bro. I'm tired of, bro, what's wrong with my community, gang?
Look, he's trying, you see, and here he is just so confused. Because do you really think the same people that are asking you to be real and like open up and express yourselves are the same people that are trolling you when you do that? You can please some of the people some of the time. You can't please all of the people all of the time, right? You've heard this before. And so this is a very like stupid mistake that he's making right here, attacking his audience like this. Looking vulnerable, getting emotional. This is not good. This is how you turn into a lol cow.
But wait, and God, you know they finna troll worse, bro. You know they finna, oh, you ain't making it in the stream of you? Damn, this ain't making it in the Clover Boys, and he ain't making it in the stream of you. Damn, you ain't living in the mansion, bro.
Now what? He's holding a gun to Cenat's head and saying, how dare you not put me into Clover House? How dare you not have me on Streamer University? Like he owes you some shit? Why are you entitled to that?
Oh, what happened? God don't God damn, bro. Fuck, man. 10,000 subs every night, bro. How you get to 1 million subs, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He does not even say to himself, what did the other people, what is it that's going on with these other people that got into Streamer University that I don't got, right? He doesn't look at himself and ask himself, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to improve upon? Don't you think that if you had motion like that, if you were really pulling viewers like that, if you had a fan base like that, you'd get in, bro. You seen the play. You seen what it is. Cenat is trying to bring on streamers that are lit as fuck because he wants Streamer University to continue to be popular, right? This is obviously his dream con. It's obviously his could have been records, right? This is what he's trying to create here. And so, yes, he wants to kind of have this like university theme thing going on, but he also wants to bring on the biggest, most lit creators. That's not on him. That's not on him that you're not fitting that bill.
You got, bro, if I don't get into fucking streaming you game, bro, I'm finna break in that something. You finna let me in there, bro. You finna give me a chance to be me, bro. You finna get to know the real me, nigga. Tired of this shit, bro.
So first off, the level of entitlement on this guy is insane. Like Cenat not only helped,
and here's the thing, especially towards the end where it's like I'm gonna break in. There's a part of me that thinks he's like trying to halfway play it off as if he's like joking, like this is a pretend crash out. Intentions don't matter. All that matters is how you're perceived. All that matters is how you're received. That's it. And so even if there was a part of him that was kind of halfway joking, and it ain't enough to be halfway joking. It's either it's a full-on troll and you're full-on joking and make that obvious, or you run into this situation where people are like, yeah, but he kind of mean that shit a little bit, even if he is joking somewhat.
Get him more visible, because that guy, the whole NPC shtick was falling off by the time this guy even showed up to Streamer University. So, or not Streamer University, to Mafiathon. So Cenat helped that keep going. Cenat put paper in this guy's pocket. He gave him money. He gave him a car. He allowed him to meet the real.
I can't believe that. He gave him a car? Oh my God, man. So you're telling me this guy gave you all this clout, all this motion. You got a chance to meet all these big streamers because of this connection you had with Cenat, and he got you a car, and this is how you respond? Right? Wow. So fucking ungrateful.
Miles Morales voice actor, he helped mentor him. He had him on stream for 30 days straight for Mafiathon 3. He put his face in front of millions of people. Tens of millions of people actually saw it. And then he let him do his thing after. And what has he done since? Complain. Well, in this specific clip. But I did do a little bit of looking to see, like, okay, what did this guy do after the Mafiathon? Right? Because that, of course, had to be his peak. Mafiathon was like November of 2025, was it? Or 2024? Because he took a really long break. No, it was 2025. And this is the funny thing you see with this guy. So he was a part of 2 Mafiathons.
Wow.
He was part of Mafiathon
2 Mafiathons, right? This is, of course, Cenat's like month-long marathon streams. Look, he's in the same room as fucking Drewski, bro. Look, if you can't make something happen after getting opportunities like this, you have no one to blame but yourself. You shouldn't even need Streamer University. Cenat should be begging you to come to Streamer University so he can continue to, like, you know, pack the roster with entertaining lit niggas. That's the position you should be in. On some, like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna go to Streamer University. It shouldn't be on some, I'm looking to this to be my lifeline to keep my career going. That's, you're not built for this, man.
That happened in 2024, and he was a part of Mafiathon 3 that happened in 2025. So check this out, right? Like, I don't come without paperwork. So we pulled up this guy's Twitch, the NPC Miles Morales guy, right?
Okay.
His Twitch is leaksworld_. So we got his paperwork here. So after November,
his Twitch isn't even like branded properly. Nobody would know this is the same guy.
2024, that's right after Mafia
Leaks World. Never heard of that before.
He was doing Mafiathon 2 while Cenat was asleep, and he streamed the next month. So December he would stream, and he streamed a lot. He streamed like 576 hours.
Okay.
And he gained 100,000 followers.
Look at that.
Right after Mafiathon 2.
Look at that. He gained 100,000 followers, bro. 100 streamed 576 hours. Let me do some math real quick. So looking at the metrics that Yasim pulls up here, December 2024 from Mafiathon 2. Supposedly, he streamed 576 hours that month. Now, if you divide 576 by 31, the amount of days in December, you get 18 hours. I don't think he was streaming 18 hours a day. I think he was probably doing his own marathon stream thing. So he literally just has the stream going 24/7 for consecutive days. And so, but still, you know what I mean? He's putting in that work, gained 100,000 followers. That's so much fucking exposure, dude. Right? Averaging almost 4,000 viewers. Those are big boy numbers. If you can average 4,000 viewers as a streamer, bro, on a regular basis. Now that was his max viewers. He was only averaging close to 1,000, but still, that's still a lot. To be averaging just under 1,000 viewers, you're making over 10K a month with that kind of a, you know, Twitch viewership, especially streaming that many hours with all the ads and, you know, brand deal opportunities from being on Cenat's stream and subscriptions and all that with 100,000 followers, he would have made a fuck ton of money that month.
This isn't even Mafiathon 3. He was averaging 935 viewers.
Okay.
In January of 2025, he was averaging 400 viewers, which 400 viewers is a very solid amount.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
Good viewership. 356 hours streamed. So now he's following up the momentum. Wait, what happens in February and for the rest of the year? Man, he barely streams.
Of course.
Streamed 53 hours in February of 2025.
53 hours, bro. That's barely over a week's worth of work as a full-time employee at a company. You get this amazing opportunity and you're just going to squander it by working it part-time.
53 hours. Keep in mind, this guy, he had previously been homeless. He wanted an opportunity to do something different.
Right.
He did something different. And then he just fell off. Stopped streaming. I don't know if he was streaming on TikTok instead, but if he had motion on Twitch, and Twitch is the platform where Cenat put him on, Mafiathon was happening on Twitch exclusively.
Right.
Mafiathon 2 and 3, Streamer University is going to be a little bit different. But just look at it. March 2025. 32 hours streamed.
Wow.
49
Wow, bro. 32 hours, a whole month. He didn't even do a week's worth of work.
hours streamed on April. And he probably saw the numbers. He was like, man, screw this. 53 hours streamed. Then he just starts streaming random stuff. Initially, it was just chatting.
Yeah, he's also losing followers at the same time. So that's probably demoralizing him. But you gained 100,000 followers in a month. Even if you end up losing 10,000 of those people because they just like impulsively followed you because of the Cenat shout out, and then they came to realize that your content really isn't their cup of tea, and so they unfollow you, it's not a big deal, right? Because you still gained so much.
And then he would just do a bunch of different games, just random stuff. And in August, he would stream a decent amount, 77 hours. I'm like,
Sure.
okay, that's an okay amount. But in September, that's when he barely streamed.
Yeah.
But that would lead up to the Mafiathon for 2025. So Mafiathon 3, 2025. Actually, no, it makes more sense. Mafiathon was September of 2025. It's really interesting that he does the Mafiathon when people are going into school. And then October, he streams a lot after
Right.
Mafiathon. So he gets another jump. Keep in mind, another opportunity. And
Yeah.
Mafiathon 3, even bigger. He gains 40.
This is why Cenat didn't bring you on, bro, because he gave you one opportunity. He watched you squander it. He gave you a second one. He waited to see how you were going to move with this boost yet again, the most legendary Mafiathon that he's ever done. And what do? You squander it again.
8,000 followers this time. He streams 547 hours in October. In November, he streams 260 hours.
Not bad.
So it falls down, but these are big numbers.
Yeah,
And then
260, that's
what
a
does
lot.
he do in December? He streams 60 hours. So it's like, what the hell
Right.
happened, dog?
Yeah,
And especially
yeah.
December, January is when a lot of kids, a lot of people school age are
Yeah.
off. That's when they're going to have the most time.
That's a problem, bro. He's like probably comparing himself to all these other streamers that he now has proximity to. He's seen himself averaging between, 150 and 400 viewers, and he's getting discouraged because Ty Lil is getting that much, and Reggie is getting this much, and DDG is getting this much, and then Cenat, of course, he's like getting as much as he's getting. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just be focused on yourself, man. The only competition you're in is you versus you from yesterday.
Just watch content. So December, January, this guy barely streams 60 hours in December. January of 2026, 50 hours.
Yeah.
And then in February, this guy streamed 11 hours.
You're not even a streamer. You're not even a streamer. Cenat pulls up your streaming numbers. He's seen that after you've been given 2 big shout outs, you ain't streamed but fucking 11 hours in February. Now you're mad that he don't want to put you on streamer you? You just taking up space.
And then in March, how much did he stream?
So that you can go and do another fucking 500 stream month the month after to then stop streaming again 3 months later?
82 hours. I don't know if this is when it got announced. No, I think it was, this guy's barely streamed ever since. So between February and now, he streamed like less than 160 hours. So over like 4 or 5 months.
Right.
This guy doesn't want it bad enough. And then he says like, yo, give me an opportunity. You got 2 opportunities. You got
Huge
Mafiathon 2. You got Mafiathon 3. You got all of these different followers. Now I will say there is a little bit of, because I got to be fair. So I was like, yo, what the hell is going on with Office Drummer? Because Office Drummer is also a guy that he was on there as, I wouldn't say a gimmick, but was that guy consistent? Now, I will say right after he did his own like drummer-thon or whatever it is. So he did that, but he has not streamed much as of late. Like April, May, and February, he streamed like 55 hours, 20 hours, 49 hours. Granted, October of 2025, that guy streamed 700 hours. It was right after Mafiathon. He did his own like thon thing. And then he took November off, I think, before he came back in December. But this guy is quite consistent. And he was consistent way before that. Like you look back at 2022, this guy's been streaming ever since. So he's consistently streamed,
right.
And he's a growing streamer for the most part. Like he'll lose followers. Like he gained followers in July, but that's because Mafiathon was announced. So he'll filter followers here and there. But Office Drummer's a guy that's actually got a talent. This guy plays the drums. He's a well-recognized brand that isn't somebody else's brand. It's him, as opposed to kind of riding off of the Miles Morales Spider-Man thing. And I don't know why this guy has Leaks World as his like face or his name. It's hard to find him. It's hard to find this guy's stream. Everybody knows him as NPC Miles Morales. It's kind of like NBA Youngboy, right? Until they hit you with the cease and desist, you keep it pushing. And NPC Miles Morales, like, you don't have to play the role of Miles Morales. But
you can just call yourself NPC Miles and everybody would just know that was like your origin story as a content creator, but they don't even think about Spider-Man anymore after a while if you wanted to, you know, focus on making other kinds of content
out there. And the problem is that's also how everybody came to know him. And Cenat encouraged this guy. And what did this guy do? He didn't make nothing shake. He didn't collaborate with people. Keep in mind, this guy could have collaborated with anybody after Mafiathon 3. That's like superhuman levels of clout. And he chose not to. So what are we going to do here? We can't blame anybody but himself. I get another opportunity. Come on, man. 2 strikes was enough. I think for Cenat, he was like, you know how they say 3 strikes, you're out? He was like, listen, he took the J. Cole line. He said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I think this is sucker move by Miles Morales. This could have been an opportunity for him to just say like, yo, you know I haven't been working as hard, but I'm a grind to get in. He could have just showed up, found a way to show up. Nah, I don't think people should be showing up. They're going to have tight security.
Yeah. And so we'll end revisiting a principle that I talk about all the time, living from the end, right? Ask yourself, what does the finish line look like for you, right? How do you want this story to end in regards to the goals you're pursuing? And then you ask yourself, if I was already there, if I was already that person, how would I move? You know what I mean? How does that person move? So for this guy, I imagine he wants to be this big streamer, or at least he liked the idea of being a big streamer. I don't even know if that's really what he wants in his heart, because if he did, he would be streaming all the time, no? But let's say there was a part of him that genuinely wanted that. How does that version of NPC Miles, who has, you know, is averaging 10,000 viewers on Twitch and is making, you know, $50,000 a month from streaming, how does that guy react to not getting into Streamer University? Here's what he's definitely not going to do. Fucking crash out on the guy who's giving you more opportunities than anybody else on the fucking internet, you know, whining and complaining about your fan base, trolling you. He would just be like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even need that anyway. It would have been nice. I would have appreciated it. But shit, I ain't even stressing it like that because I'm already where I want to be in life. You know what I mean? That's how you would respond. It's not over for him, as it's not over for anybody, honestly, in this life. If you can just resist the emotions that are going to try and draw you away from living from the end. Another way to think about living from the end is ask yourself, okay, you want to be in a certain position, right? ask yourself, a person who is already in that position, what does that person look like? Like, imagine that person. What do they look like? You know what I mean? And see if you can make them look like yourself, right? So let's say you are a black guy who is 5'11", you're 26 years old. What does a black 5'11", 26-year-old guy who's in the position that you want to be in, what does he look like? Like, really, use your imagination. How does he talk? How does he walk? This is a person another person you're inventing, right? We're just giving him some of the characteristics that you have, right? But don't put your face on him. How does, you know what I'm saying? What does his hair look like? And then ask yourself, how close are you to being that guy? Close the gap. Close the gap. The better you can close the gap, the more detailed you can make your vision of this person, and the faster you can close that gap, the quicker you're going to get the outcomes you're looking for in life. And that's with anything. That's with anything, man. Right? Fighting with your girl, ask yourself, the guy who can just get his girl to stop being mad at him instantly, how does he move? Right? How does he move? You're probably going to realize he moves differently than you do. He wouldn't be all mad and giving her a cold shoulder and giving her the silent treatment. You know, he'd be suave and smooth and, you know, soft and tender and unbothered. You know what I'm saying? And then if you try to make a move and she's not reciprocating, you just be like, oh, shit, all right, well, for sure. I'm going to go over here and do what I need to do. Maybe you'll feel a little better later, you know. That's how you would move when you really think about it. Close the gap. That's with anything, bro. Any outcomes you want in life. Again, I say this not as a person who's done it perfectly, but as someone who has been made painfully aware every single time that I did not obey this metaphysical law and seeing, this is why I believe this shit. It's not for every time it's worked. It's for every time I tried to do what I wanted to do based off of emotions or based off of what seemed irrational or logical or fair at the time. And shit just didn't go right. And I was like, man, I should have just fucking obeyed the metaphysical law. That's why I believe this shit. For all the times it bit me in my ass. For real. But all right, guys, y'all let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. And until next time, peace out.